This is Radioonfire.com. Yours truly, Dominic K, in here. Thank you for joining me. Of course, we're broadcasting from the Radioonfire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. So, interesting thing. We got to witness a conversation between two friends. You know, they said that they're like brother and sister. And I'm talking about Steve Harvey and Monique, comedians. Monique. It's been long rumored that Monique was quote unquote difficult, hard to deal with. And I've talked about some of my interactions with Monique on previous shows. I don't think that it's not that Monique is misunderstood. I think that she has some expectations sometimes, like anybody, that can be unreasonable. But at the same time, Steve Harvey has some things about him that just don't rub me the right way. And we're going to talk about both of them. We're going to talk about their interaction on the Steve Harvey show. If you had a chance to see that, that's out there. If you wanna see it, it is definitely out there. So, as I said, Monique has been under wraps. Maybe under wraps is the wrong thing. I mean, she's been under fire. I mean, we had the Netflix situation where she felt like she should have got more money. But that's not really what the source of their conversation was. The source of their conversation was more so about the things that she said as it related to Oprah, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry. She told them to suck her dick. Of course, she doesn't have one, but she said that. And she felt like Steve Harvey should have supported her, and I think that he supported her behind the scenes, said she didn't do anything wrong. So we got to go back. We got to go back to 2009. There was a film where Monique was outstanding, which was called Precious. She was paid $50,000 for the movie. And it went on to win countless awards. Now, if any of you have done an album, as I have, and you have other people that are a part of the project, let's say, guest features. So let's say you paid the guest features to be a part of this project. And thereby, they have an invested interest in the success of the project. Some people look at things from the short term. I do this for you, give me this amount of money. After that, I don't give a fuck. If you want me to do something else, you got to pay me for everything that I do. That's fine. Some people are like that. Then you have other people who may see the bigger picture being involved in a project. Everything that benefits you is not only money. Sometimes the exposure can lead you to a bigger bag. Sometimes the exposure can lead you to a bigger bag. Now, everybody does not always see that. Everybody does not always know that. Everybody does not always know. Some people just think whatever you got paid, that's all you're going to be able to get. Sometimes people look at it like that. And Monique strikes me as one of those people that says whatever I'm going to squeeze, whatever I get out of it, and money is the beneficial thing to her only in certain situations. So right now, Monique finds herself on the outside looking in. She has a residency in Vegas, and she's doing her comedy circuits. But as a whole, Hollywood has not welcomed her back in the fold. Some of the main check writers, people that would give her that opportunity, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah, she's rubbed them wrong. And that's when I go back to saying sometimes the short-term gain of monetarily can hurt you. Let's say that you're strapped for cash. You got to do some things. So you're paying out money for an event, having an event. And the caterer is nickel and diming you for every little thing, charging you for every little thing. But the DJ, the venue, the caterer, they not. Well, cater, you know what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is that when you get on the other side of whatever financial difficulty you might have had, you're going to remember who was nickel and diming you and who worked with you. And sometimes when you get on the other side, you will reward those people. And the people that didn't, you want to take note of that too. But what if the people that didn't come out and publicly berate you? You will remember that too. And that's where I think Monique finds herself. But she paid her good friend Steve Harvey a visit. And I've dumped on Steve Harvey many times on this show. But I think that he was coming from a good place initially. But what Steve Harvey did was he exposed his true thoughts and his true feelings. And it's not good. It's not. Not good. It was a window into why Steve Harvey makes some of the decisions that he makes. Steve Harvey said, and I quote, "It's not a black game. It's not a white game. It's a money game." And that's fine. That's fine if you look at it like that. That's fine. Don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is the fact that Monique needed to have this conversation. Somebody needed to have this conversation with Monique. I wish it had been me. Because Steve Harvey, while his heart may have been in the right place, he exposed the fact that many people already knew about him. He has sold his soul for money. And he's talking to Monique, who also is about money. But while Monique looked at things wrong, or went about things wrong, by telling Oprah and Lee and Tyler Perry to suck her dick, she was wrong for that. But one thing she was wrong about, which was the rudeness of it, she should have handled that differently. But the fact that she wanted to get paid for promoting the movie, while I think if they had it in the budget to pay her, they would have. But then it would have to turn around and pay other people and would have raised the budget. She was completely in her right to say no. You need to pay me. Just like they were completely in their right to say, nah, we can't do it. Or yes, we can. And if they wanted to have an attitude about it afterwards, that was their decision. I just don't think she should have came out and told them to suck a dick or fuck them. If they want to say she was difficult or whatever, she could have exposed why if she wanted to. But she didn't have to say suck my dick. Like, it's so unprofessional to do that. But while I think that she went about it wrong, while I think that she shouldn't have been so crash and brash because other potential business partners and other potential movie houses are going to look at her as wilding out, I can't say that Monique doesn't have integrity, because she does. And while she stood on her principles, I do have more respect for her after this show with Steve Harvey. She stood her ground. She said what she needed to say. She exposed people for supporting her behind the scenes but not coming out and saying it. Now, you can support somebody's movement, the point that they're coming from, but then think that they take things too far. Like if somebody did you wrong and you go to confront them and then you punch them in the face and start stomping them into the ground over a very small thing. The person who you went and talked to said, I can understand why you might be mad, but they may not condone you whipping their ass because that might have been too far. So behind the scenes, you may have said, yo, I feel what you're saying. And, if that was me, I'd be mad too. But that doesn't mean that they condone every action that you take after that. Steve Harvey in this interview said he wanted to give his little sister some advice about how she's blackballed. He explained this. Black people within the industry, truth can often have repercussions. That is true. The truth does have repercussions. It's whether you want to deal with the effects of the truth. And your integrity should not be for sale. It appears that Steve Harvey's integrity is for sale. And he said it. He said, because of that, black celebrities must be more strategic in how they confront their issues or risk going without a paycheck. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey definitely has been on money game. A lot of jobs, a lot of money. Very interesting in regards to integrity. They recently resurfaced a clip where he said he would act like a monkey for $4 million, referring to Planet of the Apes, and saying that he would have been in that movie as well, and that he would have been a good monkey. And it was very embarrassing. It's an old clip, and I remember it, and they just resurfaced it afterwards. But Monique asserted that she places integrity over money. And I have to salute my sister for that. She looked Steve Harvey in the face and said that. And at that moment, I realized that the only issue that Monique had was just the Baltimore in her coming out saying, fuck y'all. I can't fault her for that. She can apologize and they can apologize, and Steve Harvey made some good points about them apologizing. But this interview helped Monique and hurt Steve Harvey, and it was his show. But it was said, I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement. That was Steve Harvey. He said, I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everyone that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement. Now, I'm assuming maybe he meant his pride, because people can confuse pride and integrity. But I don't know. Steve Harvey has been known to say and do things that are questionable. And risk looking like a sellout, and he does that. We're just tuning in, Diamond K, Radioonfire.com, at the Diamond K Show, at Radioonfire. We're talking about Monique, Steve Harvey, money versus integrity. And I want people to know, I think that there's a difference between pride and integrity. But sometimes your pride can blind you into thinking that your integrity has been questioned. Now, Steve Harvey has said things that show us his integrity is something he can put aside for money. In the case of Monique, I don't think it was an integrity thing. I think it was a pride thing. And her pride said, I'm not going to do that. And that's fine. Monique has shown that her integrity is important. Sometimes ladies lead the way. Now, some viewers understood Steve Harvey's perspective, as did I. But many questioned his mentality immediately. They started creating memes and videos calling him out for the suggestion that he would put money before integrity. And since her appearance on the show, Monique has reposted some of those videos. I believe that I owe Monique an apology, because I came down on her in regards to the Netflix, and we'll get Netflix stuff. I'm going to put that aside for a minute. In relationship to this situation, which I think is what sparked the whole thing off, I was angry at her for the way she disrespected in public some important entertainment folk, Oprah, Lee, Tyler Perry. Because I think that when we have these public spats, it makes us look like we don't know how to do business. And I wish that it had happened behind the scenes. And then I was angry because as them putting out this project themselves, I thought that she could have been more helpful with it and do the promotion. But when I see the level of conviction that she has, and when I really look that in the face of this adversity, in the face of all this, for her, it came down to integrity. And whether I'm calling that pride on her part or not, she stuck by what she said, and she's willing to pay the price for her actions and stand on her hill by herself or with other people. And she's good with that. I respect that strength. I respect that. So I want to salute Monique. And I think that she's going to come out okay in the end. It's going to work out. It's going to work out for her. Do I think that it's best that her husband manages her? Not necessarily. But I think that she's a strong woman, and I think that she's going to be okay. So there was a clip that they posted said it was Muhammad Ali discussing how he would never compromise his community for financial gain. With the headline that read, "Y'all think Steve Harvey needs to hear this?" Monique added, "I just had to repost this for anybody putting money first and not the love of your people. I love us for real." Yep, it was interesting. A lot of backlash for Steve Harvey. Now Monique made it clear during the second part of their discussion, it's a two-part thing, that she agreed that she agreed to disagree with Steve Harvey, and there was no hard feelings. So I'm glad that they were able to get to the other side of that and find some closure there. As I said, Monique is going to continue to do her thing. She's going to continue to be a I don't know, controversial figure, for all of that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radioonfire. If you miss any episodes, you can always check us out at Radioonfire. Always on SoundCloud, on YouTube, DJ Diamond K. I'll see you guys tomorrow.